Going live, baby. Going live? But am I live on there or am I live on here? What happens if I change this? Transition. Does that fucking work? Because I might be. Oh yeah, that's working. That's working. Nice. What happens if I change this? And the sound's working as well. We're good. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. I think that's upcoming. Streaming software. I'll delete that one because. Okay, cool. Now I think I might actually be all Jeezy, McCheesy. Scene back to here, transition back to here. I just check that I'm actually doing this properly.
Be realistic about what you can achieve in the day.
No, fuck off. Bear with me if anyone's actually watching. Oh, fuck, I feel like I'm fucking this up real bad. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Start again. Let's go. Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay. Starting from the beginning. Just a bit of a preamble about what I'm doing here. Decided to a while back. I'd made the decision to kind of switch focus on my YouTube channel, and focus a bit more on music stuff. But that shit takes a long time to produce, unfortunately. So I haven't been very productive on that, especially with doing my masters at the moment, which itself takes a lot of time and effort. But so I wanted to kind of get back into this thing. I was thinking of doing this. I was like, because I was gaining a bit of a bit of a following on the old Twitter, right? I'd gotten some viral tweets. I was getting some followers. I had nearly 5,000 followers, which is pretty cool. People were tweeting my shit. People were liking my stuff, which is cool. And I'm like, shit, yeah, this is great. Get a bit of a following. And the point was to push back against, bigots and shit. Pushing back against transphobes, pushing back against racists, making fun of those people. Because often, which seems to be the case, and seems to have always been the case, that they don't get as much pushback as they deserve. Which, and not to say that I necessarily am gonna be the fucking savior of the, whatever, but I think that it's important that people push back on this shit. So that's what I was doing that on the old Twitter. And I woke up this morning. Twitter account has been permanently suspended, which is a bit of a bummer, to say the least. So I kind of wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about the hypocrisy that kind of illuminates within the transes. The transes? No, those people are great. The transphobes. The hypocrisy of the transphobes, because I was suspended for inciting violence, apparently, which I'll get to. So there's that, suspended. I've appealed, but fuck, I don't know. It's always such a. The last time I was suspended because I made fun of a Carl Rittenhouse supporter, which is endlessly hilarious to me. And but I managed to come back, but it took like 3 months of appeals to get back on the horse, which is is always a bit of a bum. So we'll see. I don't know. I've appealed. Who knows? But in the meantime, what I was hoping that I could start to do is do that same thing, but on here. Look at videos and tweets of jackasses like Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Ollie London, all these fucking wankers who tweet hatred for people all the time, make money grifting from that shit, and push back a little bit. I know that I know there's a lot of people who do, some really good people who do this sort of shit. Anyway, I mean, Surfs TV, I love that guy, Lance out there doing that shit. Majority Report, they're fucking number one baby, Sam Cedar, um, Matt Bender, those guys. But I wanted to sort of get my voice in there as well. So might be a bit of a slow start, but here I am, doing this in lieu of a fucking Twitter account now. Which is funny to me. So anyway, let me take a look. I want to take a look at the offending tweet that was calling for violence uh, against this fucking transphobe. So let's go ahead and go over to transition transition baby, and bring up the old tweet. This is Mr. Fred Sargent. I'd never heard of him before. But he came up in I'd been making fun of these gays against groomers things. Now, see, that's the thing, man. You've got these gays against groomers accounts that are. Is that fucking working? Video capture. What are you up to? What are you up to? Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. It's all frozen up, baby. Transition. Go back. Why is it frozen? Video capture. Sorry, I'm new to this streamy business. Let's just change that. Let's do that a bit. There we go. Okay, cool. I'm back. I'm back, baby. Okay, so here we go. So here's Mr. Fred Sargent. Like I say, he now I had tweeted at him. No, he tweeted at me. That's right. Now hold on. Okay, let's just take a step back. See if I can't find real quick. Should have lined this up before I got here, but I find the initial thingamajiggy. Here we go. Oh no, that's not it. No, that's not it either. Fragile. Yeah, it was somewhere. Here we go. Here we go. Yep. Okay, here it is. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, cool. So I'd been making fun of some transphobes, gay not queer. So there's this whole movement at the moment on the old Twitter and in general. I think the grifters, people who are saying they're part of this group called the LGB minus the T. So they're gay, but they're not. They don't want to be associated with the dirty trans people, which to me is nonsense. Trans people have always been part of the fight for equal rights. Trans people and gay people share an oppression under a cis heteronormative system, right? Um, you've got uh, you've got a system which is set up to favor cisgendered heterosexual people, and trans people and gay people feel and share an oppression underneath that system. It may not be the exact same oppression, but it's shared, and solidarity is important underneath that system when fighting against an oppressor. In this case, fucking fascists. So, fascists don't discriminate. And if we separate ourselves, if we're stronger together, not not separate. And that's all kind of beside the point because it's all a fucking cover for just pushing more bigotry, more transphobic nonsense. They say, oh, we just want to have our own, gay movement or whatever. But in reality, it's just, it's the same as the let women speak thing. On the surface, you say, yeah, let women speak. Okay, cool. Yeah, we do let women speak, but that's a euphemism. It's not what they actually mean when they say let women speak. What they mean is let cis transphobes speak and nobody else. So yeah, it's a euphemism used. And anyway, so the point is that I was making fun of these gay not queer motherfuckers, and I'd been making fun of them for a bit here. So here's the initial thing. Genital fish. This is the other thing is they've got this weird obsession with genitals. It's so fucking like, what do you guys? Come on. Okay, genital fetishists. Oh, this is not even the beginning. Oh my god. Okay, so it's like one of these long back and forward quote tweet things. But anyway, I'll start here. Genital fetishist sexuality can change you if you have surgery or medical intervention. Both have been said by the trans movement and religious nutjobs along with the no LGB without the T. You all are on the same side anyway. So at this point he's trying to equate trans activists with religious bigots who discriminate against gay people, and this is what they've been trying to do. Like a lot of the stuff that I've been fighting against on Twitter has been these people, trying to equate trans people with Nazis and the transgender movement and things like that with Nazis, which is just absolute nonsense. And in reality, the Nazis are pretty much on their side. But so this is what they're trying to do. And so, first of all, I don't really understand what the hell he was talking about. But so I retweeted, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? He said, have you even given a moment to look into trans ideology? Are you just virtue signaling and bullying gays for wanting to have their movement only including sexuality? So here, again, he's going back to this. Oh, all we care about is just having, it's just about us being gay, not about hating trans people or whatever. It's about hating trans people. So this is one of my favorite kind of memes at the moment is this guy crying and saying, "You oppress me too. You oppress me too by not accepting my bigotry. I am the real victim." So it's this whole crybaby nonsense. So many of these fucking fashy pieces of crap are just massive crybullies. They expend all of this effort to oppress and discriminate against trans people and racists. Sorry, against racists. People of color and things like that. They're bigots, and then they cry when people push back against them. And so I think that that's just a really really cool. So anyway, here we go. You think that the LGB can't organize on its own, like we have for years prior to the T being illegitimately added. So this is another thing that they're saying is that the trans people, the damn transes have forced their way into the gay rights movement, which historically is just inaccurate. Trans people have always been part of the fight for gay rights. Always been part. They were there at Stonewall. They've been fighting for trans people. Fighting for equal rights right from the beginning. So these are just ahistorical assertions. I think you need to sit this one out. The LGB still includes the ones that are trans, just doesn't mix the two unrelated movements together. Again, not unrelated, but they're ahistorical. So here, so I rather than going with a meme, I go ahead and spell it out for this person. Gay people and trans people all suffer under the oppression of a cis heteronormative system. Fighting for gay rights goes hand in hand with fighting for trans rights because we suffer from shared oppression. It's just that's true. So this person comes along and says, "No, we don't. and no more than women and males who identify as women face a shared oppression under the patriarchy. We are not and never were and never will be remotely similar. Go and build your own movement. Remember your own history and stay away from ours. So, again, trying to segregate out, oppressions rather than. It reminds me of. There's a quote by a great feminist. I can't remember her name, but it's basically my feminism will be intersectional or it will be bullshit, and that's accurate. Feminism needs to be intersectional, and so here we go. And so this is what I said. I said actually yes, trans people and cis women share oppression under patriarchy because they do. it's that is. I could go into it more, but anyway. And so here is where Mr. Fred Sargent comes along and says, cis woman. Now you can't really see what it's going here, but like it looks a bit weird. But what is supposed to be happening here is the little lines that are happening. Geez, the little lines that are here, which at the moment are kind of under the words. They shouldn't be. They should be crossing out. So this is what he's doing. He's got crossing out the word cis woman and written real woman. There you are. Fixed it for you. So here we have Mr. Fred Sargent's contribution to the discourse, which is that cis woman isn't a thing. They're just real women, which by implication means that trans women aren't real women, which is just transphobic bullshit. Transphobic bullshit that is being slung by, so this guy coming in defensive. I mean, you can see over here he's talking about how he's a Stonewall riots veteran, so he's obviously a gay man, but he's obviously part of this LGB minus the T thing. But you can see that their rhetoric is just exactly the same as any fucking bog standard transphobe. This guy's being a useful idiot for people like Matt Walsh and Libs of TikTok and all that, who I'll get to in a minute. But cis woman, real woman, that's fascist rhetoric. That's we're talking about inciting violence here. That's violent rhetoric. That's placing trans women as deviant, as wrong. Real woman, not real woman. Right woman, wrong woman. You're othering an entire group of people for your bullshit bigotry, basically. Anyway, so this is what Mr. Fred Sargent, his what do you call it, contribution to the discourse. And so and this was the offending tweet that got me to be suspended. Shut the fuck up, TERF. Which I think is just a great fucking meme. It's awesome. I mean, it's got this anime person and they're pointing a gun here. You can see that. And this is inciting violence, apparently. I think this is a legitimate response to any transphobic, piece of shit. I think this is, see, I mean, here someone kind of explains it pretty well. You're implying that a fucking meme is a threat. Being a Stonewall veteran doesn't excuse spreading science denial and bigotry, and that's pretty much it. Dude spreading bigotry, and is lying and spreading hatred, disinformation. Attempting to disenfranchise and marginalize trans people, which I think in this current climate of virulent trans hatred is unacceptable. Unacceptable. I think it's abhorrent. I think it's it's adding to a movement of hate and violence towards trans people that is getting trans people killed, that is inciting bomb threats to children's hospitals, that is legislating against trans people in sports, in bathrooms, all that sort of normal, all that sort of bullshit, which is making the lives of trans people more difficult, adding to the here this where are we? Give me a second. Oh, it's not on this. Not on this thing. There's a thing that that I was reading about you know what contributes to the suicidal ideation of trans people, and it's discrimination and discrimination um, in society. And this motherfucker is adding to that, actively creating a hostile society towards trans people. So I think that this tweet is a appropriate response to that. But according to Twitter, this is inciting violence. That's uh, hypocritical, to say the least. And the reason I say that is because of people like Matt Walsh and Libs of TikTok. Now, if you don't know who Libs of TikTok and Matt Walsh are, then living under a rock much. But anyway, let's I wanted to take a quick look at yeah, here we go. So this is anti-transgender campaigns targeting 24 hospitals, medical providers, and report fines. This is the Human Rights Campaign has identified online harassment campaigns against 24 hospitals and medical providers who offer gender-affirming care for transgender, non-binary, and questioning youth. So this is the environment. This is the sort of situation that we're in at the moment with for trans people. I'm just gonna move that over there so that we can actually see it properly. There we go. This is the current sort of situation for trans people living in the United States and most other places as well. And this is the situation that is brought about by people like Matt Walsh, Libs of TikTok, Ben Shapiro, fucking all those right wing bigots, and the ones in the government as well who enact laws and things like that to discriminate against trans people, and to a lesser extent, but still contributing to that cause, is someone like Mr. fucking Fred Sargent here. Where is he? Mr. Fred Sargent, contributing to that, what's the word? Environment of misinformation and discrimination against trans people. So, here we are. The finding, part of the report released on December 13th, is based on informal exploration across Twitter and Facebook. Campaigns occurred between August, places like Boston Children's Hospital, Pittsburgh and Nashville, Tennessee-based Vanderbilt University. According to the report, the Human Rights Campaign said that campaigns followed social media posts from Libs of TikTok, the Daily Wire columnist Matt Walsh, and other right-wing accounts. As threats against the transgender community continue to rise, especially impacting black, brown, and young transgender people. It is crucial that we look at who are the major players fueling this campaign of hatred, Kelly Robinson, president of the Human Rights Campaign, said in a news release. This report confirms that what we have suspected for some time. These dangerous accounts are playing a major role in causing harm to healthcare providers and patients. They are no longer just making the internet unsafe for transgender people and allies. The ruthlessness and the vitriol that has long ago expanded beyond the confines of the screen to spawn threats of physical harm to people. So you want to talk about inciting violence? You want to talk about, targeted harassment? Twitter seems to think that a dumb little garish meme like this is doing that sort of thing, but instead, we're talking about real world consequences here. Look towards Libs of TikTok. Look towards Matt Walsh. People who are still on Twitter's platform, and in fact, we know that that Libs of TikTok was given like special treatment at Twitter. They were, there was an investigation. Oh, I can't remember the exact details of the whole thing, but I know that I'm going to come back to here. Transition. Man, the camera just freezes all the time. What's up with that? Let me just. God damn it. It's freezing on the worst fucking face. Here we go. Transition back to that. There we go. Libs of TikTok, Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, all these motherfuckers continue to operate on Twitter, continue to uh, incite violence, harassment, hatred, discrimination towards the trans community, and are allowed to continue to operate on Twitter. This is where the hypocrisy comes. Uh, the fact that someone like Fred is just there, thinks that my little meme is a violent threat, while huge million follower accounts continue to direct harassment and hatred towards trans people, towards the medical care providers of the trans community, all those kinds of things. Absolute nonsense. When there was one more thing I wanted to bring, I forgot about this. When we're talking about hypocrisy, Miss Posey Parker. Here we go. Let's go over to Miss Posey Parker. Here she is. Hi Posey, how you doing, you piece of shit? This fucking camera, I don't know what's up with this. There we go. Miss Posey Parker, here she is. Okay, and so we want to talk about threats of violence. Let's have a listen to this. See
Eric Wade, $50. Thank you very much indeed. Now the person.
So this is Posey on one of her live streams, and she's got a what do you call it, a super chat from a person paying her money to say this thing, and you'll see it's pretty fucked up. But this is allowed. Posey's still on Twitter, and I imagine that Mr. Fred Sargent. I don't know. To be fair, I haven't seen his support for Posey, but they tend to align pretty ideologically. Let's have a look what Miss Posey has to say.
Eric Wade, $50. Thank you very much indeed. Now the perpetrator perps John Thomas to a tree stump, pour gas on it, light it on fire, hand her a butter knife and tell her to cut or burn. Sinister, but I like the imagery. What can I say?
Yes. Sinister. Miss Posey Parker. Damn this camera. What are you up to, you camera piece of... No, it's still gonna... Damn it. Okay, so here we go. Again, we're talking about violent threats. We're talking about inciting violence or whatever. There's Posey Parker. Huge voice within the anti-trans movement. Came to New Zealand recently, had soup poured on her, which was just great. What a legend, whoever that was. Eli, someone or other. I can't remember their name exactly. But anyway, there's Posey reading a super chat, paid $50 to basically talk about lynching trans people, hanging them up on a tree, tying them up, setting them on fire, giving them a butter knife to get them to cut through the something. It's just like, and she's like, yeah, that sounds great. But my little anime meme is too much, apparently. Yeah, TERF hypocrisy, ridiculous. I think that the cry bully meme really sums it up a lot. You don't. Oh, I'm being oppressed because you would put up with my bigotry. Wah. That's basically what it is. This Fred Sargent guy. Honestly, not a lot of ill will to him, I suppose, but it was also funny because he made fun of my guitar playing in the tweet, which is always funny because it's just like a totally, oh, I'm not mad, bro. I'm definitely not mad, but fuck, sucks your guitar, it's kind of funny. Anyway, so that's what happened there. I hope I'm going to keep appealing, but who knows? But that's out of the way. What I want to keep doing is is kind of, I suppose, it's just doing what I was doing on Twitter, but right in this space here. I'm like backwards. It's weird. Like if I raise my, yeah, okay, cool. So what I'm gonna do, I mean, why I've put Ollie London in the title there was because Ollie was the latest obsession of mine, I suppose, because he's fascinating. He's a fascinating individual, and I suppose I just want to look at some of his tweets, make fun of them a little bit, and then that'll be it. And then I'm gonna do that regularly, I suppose, since I can't do it on Twitter now. It would be nice. I don't know how I can get in touch with the people who were following me on the old tweets, because I had a good little following there, and then now they're all gone out into the ether. But that's okay. It's alright. I'm cool with it. Que sera, sera. That was the word I was looking for. It was like, come say, come say. Anyway, Ollie London, let's go, let's go. So I'll bring up Mr. Ollie London. You'll notice that my Twitter handle is Ollie London is a racist and a grifter. Because that was the I'm just gonna change this again. Jesus Christ. That was the he was the subject of my viral tweet. I got a bit of a viral tweet on Mr. Ollie. Some might say a ratio. 118,000 likes, I believe it was. Mr. Ollie had tweeted about Dylan Mulvaney, who is the current. You want to talk about target harassment? Again, there you go. Dylan Mulvaney, endless harassment and targeting by the anti-trans movement. You know, if we want to talk about like perspective-wise, you got me, little old me, getting 100 and something likes on a tweet with with a little meme, and that's inciting violence. But then you've got how many of thousands, tens of thousands of people. I mean, if you're speaking about followers of people, millions. Followers of Ollie London, Matt Walsh, Libs of TikTok, these people combined, who have channeled their anger and hatred and audiences towards this one specific person, who is the target of their vitriol and hate. You want to talk about targeted, inciting targeted violence, inciting violence. I mean, that's just, I can't imagine being Dylan Mulvaney at the moment. I mean, that they must be, the amount of shit they must be going through is like, goddamn. So anyway, that little caveat aside, so that was how I got the. I mean, I had responded to quote tweeted Mr. Ollie London's tweet about Dylan Mulvaney. Anyway, so I want to just take a look at some of these Ollie London tweets, and have a bit of a chat about the things that he's saying. I'm assuming I'm still going. Yeah, no, we good. Okay. So here's Mr. Ollie London. This was one I made fun of yesterday before I got suspended, and I think it's funny because it's like any slight deviation from what's considered the norm. See, this is the thing. I was talking about, oppression under a cis heteronormative system. You want to talk these. It's any deviation from that receives oppression from the oppressor. That's how it goes. It doesn't matter how you deviate. I mean, there's going to be, there's obviously going to be different levels of oppression and things like that, and intersectionals, which you will feel the oppression in different ways and things like that. But Ollie's not targeting these people, because they're gay or because or whatever. It's because they deviate from the norm. So you've got three men here in a three-way relationship, and I'll read the tweet. So we've got three men in a three-way relationship are planning to become the second throuple in America to have all three of their names on their adopted baby daughter's birth certificate. The three men share pictures of their baby on Instagram showing off their three-way co-parenting. Now, that in and of itself, I suppose, that tweet is not necessarily, anything. I mean, he's just stating facts there. But this is what Ollie does. He, if you look at the comments, which we will in a second, it's pointing out these quote unquote deviant people, and it's the 2 minutes of hate thing. His audience can be like, these people. Why are we mad today? We're mad because three men, it's not even like two men and a woman, or two women and a man. There's no heterosexuality in there anywhere. It's just three gays and their little baby, and they're not doing anything evil. They're not fucking sacrificing babies to Satan, or bathing in the blood of the innocent or something like that. They're just existing, having a happy, loving life. Look at these people; they all look happy as all hell. Look at how fucking happy they are. And this baby, can you imagine a happier fucking baby? Look at this guy. Look at that little guy. He's living his. Oh wait, no, I think it's a girl. My bad. I didn't mean to misgender the baby. I have a habit of doing that, misgendering babies. Anyway, living their best. Oh jeez, Ollie's face right there. Living their best, fucking thruple gay, awesome baby life. And this is bad, according to Mr. Ollie London, who I remind you got a penis reduction so that he could be more Korean. Which is just so racist. My God. Anyway, so here we go. So this is the guy, and then you look at all the comments. We got, no wonder that so many of these kids are confused in today's day and age. A child, I fear for the child. I still remember the gay couple that groomed and sexually abused their adopted sons. The downfall of civilization. Jesus. Hold on, where else we got? Remember when the Conservatives said that this would lead to polygamy, and everyone laughed and spat at things like slippery slope arguments, and we all realised how silly it was, and those were good times. So he's upset that we got thing, and maybe they watched this film from 1987, which I think is pretty funny. That's a good response, but what happens when their trendy throuple falls apart? FBI, please save this child. This is the sort of shit that Ollie is getting. See, if I was a person and I tweeted out this thing, I'd be like, yes, queens, get it. And the audience that I had cultivated would be like, yes, queens, get it. But that's not what Ollie is all about. He's all about hating on, promoting hate towards, and as you can see, he's an ambassador for Gays Against Groomers. Massive transphobic bigots. Anyway, so that's Ollie's first little thing there, which I thought was very funny, just being upset by a really happy family. And this is Ollie's latest. Here we are. That's funny. I like that. Anyway, so here's Ollie's latest. Ollie's Inagata's support for the famous TERF, J.K. Rowling here. So J.K. Rowling reveals that she is again being targeted with a boycott campaign from trans activists over the new HBO Harry Potter series in which she will be producing. That doesn't really work grammatically, but okay. Activists have been contacting HBO in an attempt to pressure them to drop the author from her role as producer. This is unacceptable, according to Ollie, which is really funny considered because of the aforementioned Dylan Mulvaney. So, it's boycott for me, but not for thee. I think that's how you say it. Yeah. So that's Ollie here is upset that trans activists would be upset that, you know, J.K. Rowling is being employed as part of the HBO Harry Potter series, which I think is fair enough. She's awful. She's a very awful person, and again, contributing to an environment of hatred and fear towards trans people. And then we've got JK down here. Gives a quote from JK Rowling. Dreadful news, which I feel duty bound to share. Activists in my mentions are trying to organise yet another boycott of my work, this time of the Harry Potter TV show. As forewarned, as forewarned is forearmed, I've taken the precaution of laying in a large stock of champagne. So she's sort of reveling in the hatred, I suppose. Excuse me. But Ollie has taken it under his wing to, taking it under his wing. He's decided that he's going to be upset by the fact that people would boycott famous bigot J.K. Rowling, which I think is endlessly funny considering that he spent the last month or so getting on this boycott train for anything that contains a trans person. It's boycott central for Mr. Ollie London, but trans people push back against the oppressor. Don't this again. This fucking this where is it? This meme is fucking. Oh, goddamn it! This meme is so good and accurate. Where is it? Come on, there it is. Yes, this. I mean, it's so applicable to everything. You oppressed me too by not accepting my bigotry. I'm the real victim. It's like a high school bully going and like pushing some kid endless, like days and days, and being like, "Hey, fucking tiny glasses, piece of shit! Oh man, I bet you're gay, you little piece of pussy, piece of shit," doing that day in and day out, and then finally, like the little kid snaps and kicks a dude in the nuts. And he's like, and then goes and cries to the principal because he got kicked in the nuts by the person he'd been fucking, abusing for the last however long. So, this is the moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen. Moral of the story? I don't know. I think here we go. This is a pretty accurate. Wait, there, and like that. There we go. That pretty accurate summation of my thoughts on the whole thing of what TERFs, transphobes, pieces of shit get up to. They endlessly spread misinformation, hate, um, you know, try to. I mean, they're celebrating when laws introduced to discriminate against trans people. That they do everything in their power to spread hatred. Pass laws and whatnot uh, to make the lives of trans people worse and dangerous and fearful. And then when they get the smallest amount of pushback, when one trans person is like, "Fuck you, piece of shit, shut the fuck up, TERF," it's, "You're bullying me." They say on their pile of fucking money that they earned from discrimination. Need to get some better words. Anyway, I think that's all we kind of want to talk about. I want to do this more. I mean, it doesn't look like many people watch, but hopefully, I will. I want to do it more. I'm gonna find some more tweets. Get my planning on. Get some tweets to make fun of. Ollie London will probably be my focus for a bit, but then, there's some others to do. I used to do this thing with Dan and Tim. That was a while ago, but we used to do this thing called making fun of stupid tweets, which I thought was great fun. And so I'm just kind of going to do that for a bit, I think, in lieu of Twitter account. If you feel like it, go ahead and tell the peeps that I'll be doing this. You know, like I say, I wish there was a way of telling all them followers who was following me to come over here and check this shit out. But I'm gonna get back to my big thing here. Transition. Transmission. Why is that not working? Transmission. There is my face. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll probably do this some more, maybe semi-regularly. It's hard to say what what kind of schedule or anything I might be doing. But yeah, I wanna be doing this a little bit more. So feel free to you know let me know if you enjoyed any of that. It's all very off the cuff. It's all very impromptu. But again, like I say, I think it's important pushing back against pieces of shit. Do you like my Lego? But you can kind of see there's Indiana Jones. There's a little car. Look at that. Oh wait, no, that's fucking Jurassic Park. I can't remember the Indiana Jones theme song. Anyway, that's me. That's me out. I'm gonna go and do something else. Appeal my Twitter suspension. Peace and love.